What's up everybody, BC here. I'm here with Loida, and the video today is going to be on FSBOs. I know FSBOs is something that is almost like a forbidden territory for a lot of people, or you feel like, I don't like them, they're mean, I don't want to call them, they're difficult, etc., etc. A lot of disempowered thoughts and beliefs towards FSBOs. This video should help you a lot with phrases, feeling more comfortable approaching them, the right mindset to really make your calls more powerful, and then when you get in front of them, you'll have a certain conviction that will come across to them and they'll be more likely to hire you, right? I think people think about FSBOs the wrong way. She's gonna bring up a lot of maybe objections, dialogues, and things that you might hear. We'll give you some responses and some other perspectives to really make this a lot easier for you, because FSBOs are awesome. I see a FSBO, I already see my sign in the yard.
Yep.
That's my mindset. Or I see I need help. And you've heard that from other trainers, and it's true, they need your help. Statistically, it's proven they sell for less and they take longer to sell, right? Plus all the legal risk and liability. We know that. Now you just need to communicate with them in a way that they understand it and they get it, right? And the first one that does that usually gets the listing and gets the business. So I'll let her take over. We'll go over some stuff, and I really hope this video will help you out, because we become very good with FSBOs, and even if we don't end up getting the appointment or we don't list them, it's because they decide not to sell, or there's a factor, a condition that does not allow us to do so, okay?
Yeah, so recently I've been calling a lot of FSBOs, and it's probably something that I've been focusing on also when I role play. And what I've noticed, and many of you guys have probably gone through this as well, is that you won't always get the appointment on the first call. Perhaps you might think that, oh, I want to be the first one that calls because I want to get the appointment, and then by the time all the other agents call, like, I won't have any competition. But many times it's not like that. So what I want to share with you guys is the importance of following up with those FSBOs, especially if they're brand new on Zillow or wherever it is that you find them. You'll see that many times on the first week they're going to get tons and tons of calls from agents. However, in the beginning, when you first initially talk to them, they might tell you, oh no, you know what, right now I don't need your help, maybe call me back in a month and maybe we'll see from then. So many times I've done that. I've called them back a week, 2 weeks later. By the third or fourth week, when I finally speak to them again, they tell me, you know what, I think we're probably going to be talking to agents, because I haven't really had any offers and I only get calls from agents, which is getting really annoying. So it's really important for you to follow up, because if they've seen that you've been genuinely interested and been calling them, they're gonna remember you when it gets to that point. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Well, and before I even touch on that, for all the agents that call, stop bullshitting them and tell me you have a buyer. If you have a buyer, you're not going to take it to a FSBO. Now, if you have that one buyer who happens to be a fit for that, then yes, you can tell them that. But 99% of you calling, maybe not watching this video, but the other agents that tell them, that's bullshit, because all you do is you feed into their mentality that they don't need to list the home and they can just have agents call them, right? When in reality, we know there's 50 agents calling them, and here in Southern California, there's about 100,000 licensed agents. Which one do you think is going to get them more money? So by you bullshitting them, not only are you lying, you're not acting in their best interest, which is, again, bullshit. So stop doing that, okay? Now, when it comes to the follow-up, it serves many purposes, right? A lot of people are do-it-yourselfers. I'm not in the sense of something like that. Like, I wouldn't go to court and represent myself, which is basically what a FSBO is doing. However, I'll respect that, I'll push, but only to a certain extent. If you come off as the aggressive, pushy asshole, no one's gonna wanna do business with you, okay? Certain personality types, you have to push a little bit more than others, I get that. However, there's a fine line between assertiveness and aggressiveness and just being obnoxious, right? Because I know I have the skill and potential to pound anybody on the phone to get them to say yes to me, but that's not the way to go, okay? So by you following up, not only are you respecting them and demonstrating that, but you're also displaying that you're professional. When you're saying, hey, I'll keep in touch and I'll call you back, if you're talking to them every 3 or 4 days and maybe you're giving them updates on the market, or you're just saying, hey, how's it going, you're showing genuine interest, like she said, but also you're demonstrating that you're a professional who follows a system. If you say you're going to keep in touch and you don't, and then you call them 6 weeks later, in their mind they're like, okay, he said he was going to keep in touch and he called me 6 weeks later. But if the other agent's calling him every 3 or 4 days, the other guy probably has a better chance of getting that listing. Or coming into the listing appointments, the one who's kept in touch more is going to be more credible in the seller's mind, and that's very important.
Yeah, and also along with that, I want to share this quick story. So recently I called a FSBO, and the funniest thing is that he himself is a broker in another state. And when I initially talked to him, I asked him, if all the numbers work and even aside from commissions and closing costs, we could help you net the money that you need in your pocket, would you at least be open to that conversation? And he did. So I pre-qualified him. I asked him what was the amount that he was looking to net. This was a vacant property. And I also asked him how much would be the least he would be willing to sell it for. So after running all the numbers, we saw with Bryan, we're like, we can't help them because they are pretty much unrealistic about the price, and we're not going to take an overpriced listing for it to just sit there. So what I did is that I called him back and I told him, you know what, based on what you told me that you want to do, I ran the numbers and it doesn't make sense for you to sell your property. So at this point, it's better that you hold on to it. And I'm telling you this because we're straightforward, we're honest, and we're not going to BS you and tell you that we can sell your property for more or that we have buyers. And he really appreciated that. And he told me, okay, I really appreciate you telling me that. I'm going to keep it on the market for a week or so and see how that goes. And I did what we were been talking about, followed up. So I followed up with him a week later and he told me, you know what, I am going to hire an agent because I see that there's a better benefit in me paying the commission because all I'm getting is calls from agents. And so if you definitely want to talk, I'm open to that conversation right now.
Pause. He came to us.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that it's not like we followed up with him, but he was like, you know what? I want to work with you. And that's important because how many of you get a FSBO to say, yeah, I want to work with you, please help me, right? You may get it every once in a while. However, for the fact that we were honest and open and not needy, that's the thing. You never want to come off as needy or pushy or self-serving. And when we do that, we're demonstrating, hey, we're listening to you. You said X. It looks like what you're doing right now is like you're trying to get Y, and X doesn't fit in with Y, so don't do it. And he respected that, and then he reached out to us, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. And also touching on that, when you actually turn away a listing because you're not, at least we never take overpriced listings.
Never.
They also see, oh, what these agents, they're not in it just to make money. They actually care and want to help me, which is why I reached out to him and told you know what, we can't help you because what you want is not realistic and you're better off just keeping your property. And that's something that they're not used to hearing when there's a
pattern interrupt. Yeah, it's a basic concept of NLP. Basically, if you're calling an expired, for example, just to throw a different example, and you say something to interrupt them or throw them off because they're used to hearing a certain thing from somebody. You say something to interrupt their pattern. They're like, whoa, it short circuits the brain, and they're like, whoa, and suddenly they're interested, or they're at least a lot more likely to talk to you, right? And it's something that will stick out in their mind. So if 20 agents called, said the same thing, got hung up on, then you hit them with a pattern interrupt, they're gonna at least hear you out, or you will stand out in their mind, and that's the whole point of that. And that's basically the example. What we did wasn't necessarily all together a pattern interrupt, but just that phrase in itself was a pattern interrupt in the moment.
Yeah, because they're so used to hearing agents tell them, oh yeah, you should sell it, sell. And then here I am saying, you know what, you should keep it. Why do you want to sell it? And then so that kind of sticks in their mind. So then that's why he remembered me, not just for that, but also for providing him with that important information about the comps. Now, I want to go over some phrases that usually have been throwing off FSBOs when I've been speaking to them recently. And usually they tell me, you know what, right now we're not thinking about hiring an agent because we really want to save the commission, and it's all about the bottom line for us.
Right. And Loida, sounds to me like you guys want to net the most money, correct?
Yes.
So if we could help you get it sold and still net you the money you need in your pocket, maybe even more, is that something that would be good for you?
Well, how can you do that?
That's a great question. And the 40 families we helped last year asked us the same question, and we actually got them the result by getting as much or more money in their pocket than they thought. Do you think we can do the same for you?
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Pause. A little bit different from what I normally say it. However, I know a lot of people might hear that and they're like, what do I say, right? And there's so much you can say, like, watch, hit me with that objection again. We want to save the commission.
We want to save the commission,
Great.
So we're not going to hire anyone.
I got it. So Loida, is the most important thing to you selling it on your own or netting the most money?
Netting the most.
Okay, so if we could help you and still net you the same amount or more, would you consider interviewing us now?
I mean, if the number is, if you can actually help me net more, but how can you do that?
Right.
I have to pay a commission.
That's a great question. When we get together, we're going to go over that. I'm
Okay.
available today at 5, or is tomorrow at 6 better for you?
Okay, tomorrow.
Okay. Again, you don't want to handle all the objections up front. You want to handle just enough to get the appointment. Right now, the video is going on 10 minutes now. I see. We don't want to make it too long. But what you want to do is say, you know, it's a great question. Always affirm what they say and then move on and set up the meeting. Say, you know what, that's not everything. Or they could say, you know what, we're going to do it on our own. Got it. Now, Loida, I understand you want to save the commission. I get it. You know, right now, you're only exposing your home to a fraction of the buyers that are out in the market. Are you aware of how many agents there are here in Southern California?
No, not really.
Over 100,000. Did you know that?
Oh, wow.
Right,
No.
and you said you have about 30, 40 brokers calling you every day?
Yeah.
So would you like to expose your home just to the 30 or 40 brokers calling you every day, or would you rather expose it to all the 100,000 licensed agents in the market today?
Oh, to all those agents.
Great.
Definitely.
So here's what I suggest. The next step would be for us to get together. I can come out today at 5 or tomorrow at 6. I'll share with you how we can help you expose it to those buyers. That's only one thing, but we can help you do much more.
Oh, wow.
And if we can help you expose it to all those buyers, the 100,000 agents with buyers, you think that's going to help you net more money or less money?
Well, I guess more buyers seem probably more money.
Right. Now, cut. Again, just another example. I might say it a little bit differently, but you see how I'm reframing the conversation. She wants no commission. I said, you want no commission or higher net? And of course she's gonna say higher net. And then I take it from there. All you need to do is agree with them, then offer a solution. Agree with them, offer a solution. Agree with them, take them over here. It's all about a step-by-step process. Think of an assembly line, right? It's very simple. You just have to keep talking, know what you're talking about, and be confident. When I pick up the phone and I speak to a FSBO, I know they need me. So why would my speech not come off confident, or why would I not really want to help them, right? Because if I help her, let's say she's a FSBO, and she makes more money, guess what? I make money. I make money, she makes more money, everybody's happy. I get a sale, she sells her home faster, with less hassle and risk, and she puts more money in her pocket. What's wrong with that? Because I get a lot of comments here by people watching on YouTube, well, you guys are sleazy, you're just calling to get a listing. No, I don't get listings. I've sold every single listing I've taken. I'm calling to sell the house. And guess what? When I sell the house, they sell it quicker and they put more money in their pocket. I just happen to get money in the process for delivering a result. And I don't get paid until it closes. So when it closes, I will have earned my commission at that point. Am I right or am I right?
Yep, that's it. Yeah, so hopefully this video has helped you guys and has answered a few questions that you guys have had when it comes to FSBOs. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.